Hey guys, what is going on? King Arthur here, back with another episode of Is It Good? Today we're going to be taking a look at the perk Electric Burst, which is essentially just a reskin of Electric Cherry from Black Ops 2. There isn't much to say about this perk, mainly because it is just a middle-of-the-pack, run-of-the-mill, it benefits you, but it's not going to save your game kind of perk. It's pretty good, though. It's not awful. There are some things to say about it, though, so we're going to take a look at it. The game description says that reloading causes an electric discharge that damages and stuns nearby enemies. The more empty the magazine, the stronger the damage. The modifier basically allows your melee weapon to store electric charge based on how many times you reload in a given match. And, like I said, nothing really stands out there, nothing jumps out. This is really a middle-of-the-pack perk. What I will say, though, is that, here's a good example of it, it will blind you. It will blind you a lot. It will hurt your frames. If you are close to zombies and you use it, it will get in your way and disrupt your vision. That's fine and dandy, generally. It doesn't make that big of a deal because it's not as obtrusive as other items that can get in your way. But, it's something to be wary of. So basically what this perk does is whenever you reload, you stun zombies around you. And, yeah, like I said, it's a reskin of Electric Cherry. We've all used it. And if you haven't, basically, they reworked it a little bit here. So whenever you reload, based on how many rounds are left in your clip, it's going to make the stun last longer and the damage stronger. So one thing they did to basically combat people abusing Electric Cherry like they did in Black Ops 2 was essentially if you just shoot one bullet out of your magazine and reload, you're not really gonna get a discharge. Like, you might get a little something, but it's not going to do anything. You have to really mean it when you reload. You have to have all of a good amount of your bullets out of the magazine to get a good stun on zombies. That's not horrible, but it's definitely something you can't abuse. I do want to talk about the price of the perk. It is $3,000 for the stout version and $4,500 for the modifier. And the stout version is good, but I'm still not exactly sure it's worth $3,000. It's good. It's right there with Stone Cold. It's right there with other 3,000 perks that I can't name off the top of my head at the moment. But it's not gonna, I don't think comparatively, compared to the other 3,000 perks like Bandolier Bandit or like Dying Wish, which is 4,000, I don't think it should be in that tier. I think it should be worth about 2,000 points. We'll see if Treyarch changes that in the future, but for now, that's the way it is. One thing I want to mention here real quick is that if you use the Death of Orion, as you can see in this clip, and you use your discharge, it actually will stun zombies that are nowhere near you because the discharge carries over just like the Death of Orion damage does. So that's interesting, something to note, a combination that maybe you'll use in future games, I'm not sure. One thing that does suck is, as you can see once again in this clip, using the Death of Orion with this is not as beneficial as you would think, because if you just spray shots out of it, the reload is instant, so you actually don't get discharge every shot. You get discharge maybe once every 5 shots. So the thing about it is, they made it so it's a time difference. Like, it's not about the bullets when it comes to certain wonder weapons. It's about how long you wait between reloads that bases the discharge. So that's something to be wary of as well. This is not an OP perk to use with really any weapon. That said, it is a very conditional perk, and you shouldn't be using it if you're going to be using LMGs in your game, because obviously you don't reload LMGs often. This is a perk that you're going to want to pair with pistols and SMGs and things that reload quick and often. And obviously fast mags on your weapon is going to help you every time, because reloading can suck, especially with those LMGs. So, what other combinations can you use this perk with to make it a little bit more viable than just the stout version that discharges zombies around you? The best perk to use with this is probably Stone Cold Stronghold, just because you're going to be standing in one area and you are going to have to reload at some point. So when you do, instead of running out of your little stronghold, you can just reload and stun the zombies around you for a second and then kill them and then get back to what you were doing. That's a really good use. Again, claymores are also pretty helpful because of that. But, there's no real strong, super OP, oh, guys, put this on your class, you're going to friggin' get round 50 easy. There's nothing you can do like that with this perk. Like I said, it's really middle of the pack. But, I will say this. The modifier is awful. Don't touch the modifier. The modifier basically allows you to melee zombies and give the same exact effect as you would have if you were just reloading. So, yeah, that's nice and all, but how often are you really going to be meleeing zombies past round 5? And you know, it just seems kind of counterintuitive. You know, I'm not really the kind of guy that runs up to zombies and melees them on round 15. And for what? Just to stun them? I can see, like, the possibility of getting stuck in a corner and wanting to stun the zombies around you to get out of it, but it really has very little utility, and the modifier itself costs 4,500, which is really expensive, and not really getting much value. So don't use this in your modifier slot. If you are going to use this, there's no reason you can't. It is a good perk. It's not awful. And, you know, it has its utility. If you feel like it's worth it more than stamina up or depth perception or whatever those other perks are, you know, it's up to you. It's personal preference. This is definitely not a perk that's going to waste a slot, that's going to end your game because it's bad. It's just there. We're going to call this about a 6 out of 10. I think it's got good utility, decent execution, costs a little bit too much, and the modifier kind of sucks. But, you know, 6 out of 10, it's a viable perk, it's something you can use. And, you know, that's it. So, if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Drop a like if you liked my beautiful voice or the description. Or if you disagree with what I say, please feel free to comment it. Also, feel free to comment any suggestions for future videos. I will be doing an equipment next. I'm not going to tell you which. You'll have to come back to find out. Alright, guys. That's all for me. I'll catch you later. Remember to stay royal. Alright. Peace out.